That boy's good. I mean, he's good.
LeBron and Ja have been throwing shade for months, but now they might actually end up teaming up. What? After all the tension, it's wild to even imagine these two sharing the same locker room. The Grizzlies just made a shocking move, sending their biggest star right into the hands of one of their fiercest rivals. But could this bold gamble end up blowing up in their faces? And the real question is, can Ja and LeBron actually let go of their beef long enough to play side by side without drama exploding mid-game? Let's break it down. On January 9th, 2026, the Memphis Grizzlies officially put Ja Morant on the trade block. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, the team is actively taking offers for the two-time All-Star guard as the February 5th trade deadline creeps closer. This is the first time the franchise has even hinted at letting go of the player they once called their future. The same guy they drafted second overall back in 2019. Within hours, the report blew up everywhere. Yahoo Sports confirmed that the Grizzlies were listening to multiple teams. Hoops rumors added that Memphis is open to a deal, but only if the offer's right. Meanwhile, NBC Sports revealed that rival GMs expect the Grizzlies to chase young talent and draft picks. But this isn't some random rumor. This move has been brewing for a while. The Grizzlies have been juggling issue after issue with Morant for over a year now. Sources say both sides finally agreed it might be time for a clean break, especially with ongoing concerns about his performance, injuries, leadership, and those constant off-court headlines. At 26, Morant's been under the microscope, struggling with nagging injuries and not quite looking like his old self. A lingering right calf problem has kept him listed as day-to-day, and insiders aren't holding back. One anonymous NBA exec even called him a pain in the ass, saying he's injury-prone and not the same anymore. Some are even comparing his fall-off to former stars like John Wall and Derrick Rose, guys whose careers dipped fast when the injuries piled up. The off-court chaos? It's only made things messier. Back in 2023, Morant's off-court drama hit a breaking point after those gun-related suspensions that sidelined him for a big chunk of the season. Since then, the vibe inside the Grizzlies' locker room hasn't been the same. Reports say some teammates have kept their distance, and that tension never really cooled off. The trust? It's cracked, and the chemistry Memphis once had seems long gone. But the real eye-opener here might be the team's performance without him. The Grizzlies have gone 7-3 in their last 10 games with Morant off the floor, and that's no small thing. They've shifted to a faster, more free-flowing style, pushing the pace, moving the ball, and letting young guys like Zach Edey, Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, and Scottie Pippen Jr. shine. The energy looks different, and honestly, a lot cleaner. Now that's where the tough question comes in. Does Ja's ISO-heavy, highlight-first style even fit this new system anymore? Under coach Toma Olo, Memphis has built something that thrives on speed, teamwork, and smart plays, and not slow-down solo acts. And according to league chatter, these fit issues have been bubbling for months. By December 2025, word had already spread through NBA circles that execs were viewing Morant, alongside stars like Trae Young and LaMelo Ball, as negative value players because of those big contracts and non-stop drama. Sure, Ja's still a superstar talent, but that shine comes with baggage. The Athletic's John Hollinger even described this trade situation as part of a full-on rebuild. After moving Desmond Bane, he pointed to the Clippers, Timberwolves, and Nets as possible destinations, though money and cap space make things tricky. The second Shams dropped his report, the internet went wild. Threads, Instagram, and YouTube lit up instantly. DeMarcus Cousins even jumped into the mix, saying that Memphis might have hurt themselves by making their willingness to trade Ja public. They played their hand too early, he suggested. Meanwhile, Memphis fans on X are totally split. Some are ready to move on, saying this breakup was long overdue, but others? They're furious. One local fan said, "It's the talk of the town. Like, how could they even think of letting Ja go? It's chaos in Memphis right now, and the city's loyalty is being put to the ultimate test." The road to that wild January 9th bombshell didn't happen overnight. It was building for weeks. In December 2025, insiders were saying things between Ja Morant and the Grizzlies had actually started to improve. But even as peace talks were happening, interest from big-time contenders like the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks had already stared heating up. The rumors weren't new. The twist came when the Grizzlies finally admitted they were open to listening. That's when everything exploded. Now the entire Grizzlies season is being swallowed by trade talk. With Ja still out, the noise around his future is louder than any game on their schedule. Analysts are warning that Memphis may have fumbled the bag by going public. They might have crushed Ja's trade value and scared off top offers. Still, nobody can deny the guy's insane athleticism and scoring power. If he can stay healthy, there will definitely be teams lining up for a shot at him. Sure, reconciliation isn't off the table, but come on, both sides seem ready to part ways. The tension feels too deep, and everyone knows this breakup might actually help both parties move forward. But now, with Ja officially on the market, one name has stolen the headlines: the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh yeah, things just got spicy. The Lakers are being mentioned as a potential landing spot, even though pulling this deal off would be anything but simple. Their interest makes sense. They're desperate for more firepower in the backcourt during this intense 2025-26 season. The team's now built around the superstar duo of LeBron James and Luka Doncic. After that shocking February 2025 trade that sent Anthony Davis to Dallas. That move completely reshaped LA's roster, and now the front office is hunting for the perfect third piece to complete their new super team. Reports say the Lakers have already reached out to Memphis to check on Ja's availability, and honestly, the fit is obvious. His electric speed and rim attacks could blend perfectly with Luka's ball control and LeBron's leadership. Imagine those fast breaks. It'd be chaos for defenses everywhere. At just 26, Ja still has plenty left in the tank and years of prime basketball ahead. The Lakers are reportedly putting together packages loaded with first and second round picks, seeing Morant not as a role player, but as a potential game changer. If this trade goes down, it could shake the entire league to its core. Fan reactions on X are all over the place. Some people are begging the Lakers to pull the trigger on a direct Ja Morant trade. They want that headline move now. But others aren't convinced it makes sense, especially with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves already sharing the ball handling load. That backcourt's crowded, and bringing in Ja could throw off the balance. Still, the buzz hasn't slowed down one bit. Most of the serious reports and mock trades don't actually have the Lakers landing Morant directly. Instead, they pop up as a third team in potential multi-team deals. In those setups, LA would walk away with solid role players, names like Ochai Agbaji or John Concher, instead of taking on Ja himself. Last Word on Basketball even broke down a three-team mock trade where the Lakers grabbed both Agbaji and Concher, while Morant ended up heading north to Toronto. The Athletic backed up that same idea, pointing out how this kind of move would perfectly fit what the Lakers actually need: more athletic, two-way bench help, without all of Morant's off-court baggage or that massive contract. Lake Show Life chimed in too, saying the Lakers could slide into a three-team trade as middlemen, helping another squad get Morant, while they scoop up valuable pieces that make them deeper and more balanced. The most talked about mock trade right now? A blockbuster three-way between the Raptors, Grizzlies, and Lakers. In that deal, the Raptors would get Ja Morant. The Grizzlies would receive Emmanuel Quickley, Jacoby Walter, Gabe Vincent, a 2026 first-round pick from Toronto, and a 2032 second-round pick from LA, and the Lakers would take home Ochai Agbaji and John Conchar. Agbaji's a career 36% shooter from deep who can also defend, perfect for spacing and hustle, while Conchar adds versatility and energy off the bench. For the Lakers, it's a win that keeps their stars happy and their salary cap clean. No huge Ja commitment, no chemistry gamble, just smart reinforcements. Of course, there are still whispers about a direct Lakers-Morant swap. One spicy mock has LA sending Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and a 2026 first-round pick to Memphis for Morant. But that version would force Ja to play more off-ball, relying on his 34% three-point shot, something he's not exactly known for. It's a wild idea, but man, it's got fans arguing non-stop. The idea of adding Ja Morant next to LeBron James and Luka Doncic sounds explosive on paper, but the fit? That's where things get complicated. Some versions of the Lakers trade proposals even throw in Gabe Vincent or Dalton Knecht heading to Memphis to make the math work. And if the Minnesota Timberwolves get involved in the Morant talks, there's even talk of the Lakers sliding in to scoop up another piece, maybe Dante DiVincenzo, as part of a bigger shuffle. It's madness out there. Analysts across the board agree the Lakers do have assets to play with, but they're warning the front office not to go overboard. With cap space already tight and a stacked backcourt, they can't afford to throw everything at a deal that might not even fit their system. And that's the big challenge here. The team's built around Luka's ball-dominant style and LeBron's playmaking, leaving little room for another guard who needs the ball to be effective. Morant's game is all about control. The ball runs through him. With a usage rate hovering around 30%, he's used to calling the shots, breaking down defenders, and running the show. Asking him to suddenly shift into a supporting role beside Luka and LeBron would be a total identity flip. Could he actually do that without clashing with the system? That's the million-dollar question. Still, there's a twist. Ja's value has dipped lately. Between his injury history, performance drop-offs, and off-court headlines, his trade price might finally be within reach for teams that couldn't dream of affording him before. A year ago, he was untouchable. Now he's potentially gettable. That's why the Lakers are hanging around the edges of these talks, watching, waiting, and calculating. But make no mistake, taking on Morant wouldn't come cheap or easy. His contract stretches all the way through the 2027 to 2028 season, locking in massive salary commitments for years. Add in the risk of more injuries and all the media attention that comes with Los Angeles, and you've got a recipe for potential chaos if things go sideways. Right now, insiders say the Lakers are staying patient, keeping tabs but not leading the charge. They're positioning themselves as facilitators, not headliners, in any possible Ja Morant deal. Acting as a third team could still bring them solid pieces without all the risk. But as the February 5th trade deadline creeps closer, everything could change in an instant. Because let's be real, if the Lakers actually pull the trigger and bring Ja to Hollywood, it won't just reshape their lineup, it could flip their entire chemistry. The partnership between LeBron and Luka is just starting to click. Throw Morant's ball-heavy game into the mix, and it could be either a dream trio or a disaster waiting to happen. The stakes couldn't be higher. Right now, the Lakers' chemistry is smooth and balanced, built on smart passing, deadly pick-and-roll action, and off-ball movement that keeps defenses guessing. LeBron James at 41 is still putting up monster numbers, 25.1 points and 7.8 assists per game. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic is dropping 29.4 points and 8.2 assists, running the offense like a chess master. Austin Reeves rounds it out with reliable spacing and secondary playmaking. Together, this trio's rhythm has turned the Lakers into a legit contender, especially after overcoming those early growing pains following the Luka trade. But here's where things get tricky. Dropping Ja Morant into that mix would change everything. Morant's game depends on having the ball in his hands. With a usage rate around 30%, he thrives on fast breaks, quick drives, and one-on-one isolation attacks. That's his DNA. The problem? That style could clash with the Lakers' current system, which thrives on unselfish play and shared touches. Plus, his occasional defensive lapses and questions about leadership from past issues make this an even riskier fit. Still, not everyone's skeptical. Some analysts think adding Ja could turn the Lakers into an offensive juggernaut. His insane athleticism might perfectly complement Luka's slower, calculated style and LeBron's downhill power game, creating mismatches every possession. Imagine Morant cutting off Luka's pick, catching a pass from LeBron, and finishing with that explosive 60% success rate at the rim. It'd be chaos for defenses. His quick playmaking and transition could also supercharge their pace, giving the Lakers a new weapon they've never had before. People are even drawing comparisons to legendary trios like the Miami Heat's Big Three. Some experts predict the Lakers' scoring could jump by 5 to 10 points per game if Morant adapts and the chemistry clicks. Plus, at just 26, Ja could inject youthful energy into a veteran-led squad. And with LeBron as a mentor, he'd be learning from one of the greatest to ever do it. That mentorship alone could change the entire trajectory of his career. But let's not sugarcoat it. The risks are massive. Ball sharing tension is almost guaranteed. Morant's 7+ assists per game could overlap with Luka's primary role as the main playmaker, and that could lead to some serious friction over touches. Reeves might see his minutes and influence shrink, which could mess with locker room balance. And defensively, that's another concern. Morant's on-ball weaknesses could make the Lakers' backcourt even more exposed, forcing LeBron to carry too much of the defensive load. If this move happens, it's either going to create a highlight reel dynasty or a chemistry nightmare the Lakers can't recover from. At 41, LeBron James is still defying the laws of basketball. And under coach JJ Redick, the Lakers have leveled up big time on both ends of the court. Their defense, once a weak spot, is now a strength built on trust, rotations, and hustle. But adding a player like Ja Morant, who's known for his electric offense but questionable defense, could throw that progress off balance fast. The biggest red flag, though, isn't even on the court. It's in the locker room. Morant's history of tension with former Grizzlies teammates raises major questions about how he'd handle joining a locker room already packed with star power. There are even whispers of subtle friction between LeBron and Luka Doncic as they adjust to sharing control. And dropping Ja into that mix could be like lighting a fuse. 3 strong personalities, 1 basketball, and the bright lights of LA? That's a risky formula. Some mock scenarios try to tone it down by suggesting the Lakers start Morant off the bench, letting him lead second units, drop instant offense, and build chemistry without messing up the LeBron-Luka flow. It sounds good in theory, but come on. When was the last time a 2-time All-Star and former franchise face was cool with coming off the bench? That's a pride hit most stars just don't take lightly. Even if it's for the greater good, that move could spark quiet resentment or ego battles behind the scenes. NBA insiders on YouTube have pointed out that Morant's presence could actually free up LeBron for more off-ball work, allowing him to save energy while Ja runs the offense. But those same analysts warned it could mess with Luka's rhythm, especially since both players thrive with the ball in their hands. Podcasts like Finding the Seams even broke down how superstar-heavy rosters often crumble under the weight of big egos, and fans on X echoed that same fear, calling the potential chemistry a ticking time bomb if the Lakers go through with it. History backs up those concerns too. Remember the 2010-11 Miami Heat? Even LeBron, Wade, and Bosh struggled early figuring out their roles before finding their groove. And the 2020-21 Brooklyn Nets? That super team never clicked. The injuries, ego clashes, and no defensive cohesion tore it apart. The Lakers could be walking straight into the same storm if their stars can't sacrifice touches for wins. And then there's Morant's durability. That's the other cloud hanging over everything. He's already missed 20-plus games this season, and his recurring injuries make it impossible to build steady chemistry. Imagine the team adjusting to him, only for him to go down again. It would leave the Lakers scrambling to reset mid-season, unsure of how to even run their offense. So yeah, bringing Ja to Los Angeles could either push them into dynasty territory or unravel the delicate chemistry they've worked so hard to build. It's a gamble that could define the Lakers' entire future. For the Lakers to make a LeBron-Luka-Morant trio actually work, everything would have to be perfectly balanced. They'd need to stagger minutes to let each star shine in their own rhythm, set clear roles, and make sure everyone fully buys in. Without that structure, this thing could go sideways fast. We're talking locker room drama, trade requests, and way below expectation results. Analysts everywhere are warning that managing egos, minutes, and expectations would be one of the toughest challenges the Lakers have faced in years. But it's not just about chemistry. Morant's injury history and unpredictable off-court reputation make the whole thing even riskier. One misstep, one bad stretch, and the entire season could spiral. The front office has to ask itself, is the short-term upside really worth gambling long-term stability? Sure, on paper, this team could have a championship-caliber offense, but the flip side? A total meltdown that could derail everything they've built under coach JJ Redick. The chemistry question isn't just a detail, it's the deal breaker that could make or break this entire move. And then there's the bigger looming storyline. LeBron James' future. Every conversation about Ja Morant joining the Lakers is tied to one huge question. What happens when LeBron retires? He's 41 years old in his 23rd NBA season, and the speculation about his next move has only intensified since late 2025. Insiders say LeBron is now taking things year by year, and even the Lakers front office doesn't know for sure if he plans to play beyond this season. Some believe he might call it a career after 2025 to 2026. Others think he could stick around for one final farewell tour before hanging it up. Former teammates and analysts alike are predicting that the end is near, and that's exactly why this potential Ja Morant trade feels so crucial. Right now, the Lakers' core still revolves around LeBron's leadership, playmaking, and clutch dominance, while Luka handles most of the scoring and creation duties. But as LeBron's minutes and role start to wind down naturally, the team will need an injection of youth and energy to keep their offense explosive and fast-paced. That's where Ja Morant fits perfectly. His lightning speed, transition attacks, and elite finishing could keep the Lakers' tempo alive, even as LeBron takes on a lighter load. In the short term, pairing Ja's quickness with Luka's control and LeBron's vision could create an unstoppable pick-your-poison offense, one that keeps defenses constantly guessing. And long-term, Morant could become the bridge to the post-LeBron era, carrying the torch once the king finally steps off the throne. If handled right, this could be the perfect evolution, a passing of the torch from legend to the next generation of Lakers firepower. But if the chemistry cracks, it could also mark the beginning of the end for their championship dreams. What makes Ja Morant so tempting for the Lakers isn't just the name value, it's what he represents. At only 26, he's still deep in his prime. And by the time LeBron James finally calls it a career, Ja could slide right in as Luka Doncic's long-term co-star. He'd handle secondary creation, lead transition scoring, and take on bigger leadership duties once LeBron steps away. His youth could give the Lakers something priceless: continuity, avoiding that brutal drop-off that usually hits teams after a legend retires. Morant's explosive athleticism would also patch up the holes that come with an aging roster. While LeBron and other veterans slow down, Ja's burst, speed, and above-the-rim energy would keep LA's offense alive and unpredictable. And let's be real, off the court, the impact would be massive. His star power, highlights, and viral moments would keep the Lakers brand burning hot worldwide. Even in what could have been a rebuilding era, this is Hollywood. The show must go on, and Morant's flash would keep fans glued to their screens. From a marketing standpoint, it's a dream move. The Lakers thrive on superstars, and Morant's charisma and jaw-dropping plays would keep ticket sales and viewership booming. Beyond that, he could also grow as a leader under LeBron's mentorship, learning the professionalism, discipline, and mindset that have kept James elite for 2 decades. That passing of the torch moment could be legendary, the perfect bridge between eras. Long-term analysts have been saying for months that a market like Los Angeles could unlock the best version of Ja Morant. Pairing him with Luka and LeBron could solve offensive dry spells and turn the Lakers into a highlight factory again. The raw talent between those three would be off the charts, the kind of trio that could light up the league if they find the right balance. And interestingly, the way LeBron has adapted his game recently might pave the way. He's been playing more off-ball this season, letting Luka control the tempo, something that shows he's willing to adjust for the greater good. That same flexibility could make room for Ja, letting him learn the ropes before stepping into a bigger role once LeBron eventually steps back. If that balance clicks, this could be the smoothest superstar transition we've seen in years. But the risk can't be ignored. Morant's injury track record is still a major question mark. His availability has been shaky, and defensively, he's got work to do. Sure, a slightly reduced role next to Luka could ease some of those concerns, but nothing's guaranteed. If this trade falls through, expect the Lakers to pivot toward athletic wings, players who can fill that post-LeBron energy gap without all the drama attached. The potential is sky high, but so are the stakes. This move could either extend the Lakers' dynasty or send it into chaos if the fit doesn't click. The trade deadline clock is ticking, and Ja Morant's sudden availability has opened a door that might slam shut just as fast. The Lakers are staring at a rare make-or-break moment. The strategy seems simple but risky. Grab Morant now to help LeBron James chase one last ring and secure a dynamic young guard to carry the torch alongside Luka Doncic once the king finally steps away. If it works, it could turn LeBron's graceful exit into a smooth handoff, keeping the Lakers in title contention instead of tumbling into a rebuild. On paper, it sounds like a masterstroke. Getting a 26-year-old all-star at a potential discount could check every box: youth, energy, and superstar flair, all while bridging the gap between 2 eras of Laker dominance. The upside? A seamless transition from the LeBron era to the Luka era, with Ja Morant serving as the high-flying connective link that keeps the Lakers relevant for years. But the success of that plan rides entirely on chemistry, health, and timing. 3 things that can flip in an instant in this league. Of course, nothing about this deal comes easy. The roadblocks are everywhere, and they're massive. First, the financial math is brutal. The Lakers are already over the NBA's second apron, which crushes their flexibility under the new rules. Morant's 5-year, $197 million contract, including player options, makes salary matching a nightmare. To even get close, LA would have to move key rotation pieces like Austin Reeves, $13 million, and Rui Hachimura, $17 million. And even that wouldn't be enough without bringing in a third team to balance the books. And it's not just the money. The competition is fierce. Other teams are circling like sharks, and some have way better trade ammo than the Lakers. Memphis has made it clear they want draft picks and young prospects, and that's exactly where the Lakers fall short. Their asset pool is shallow. They only have a handful of tradable first-rounders after 2026, with their best chips being unprotected picks in 2029 and 2031. Beyond rookie Dalton Knecht, there's not much in terms of elite young talent to sweeten the pot. Meanwhile, other teams like the Raptors, Clippers, and Bucks reportedly have stronger packages ready, one stacked with future picks and rising players Memphis actually wants. Compared to that, LA's offer just doesn't scream franchise cornerstone return. Unless the Lakers pull off some creative multi-team magic, they'll be hard-pressed to outbid their rivals. Even if the Lakers somehow pull it off, they'd still be inheriting major risks. Morant's recent injury history and dip in performance can't be ignored, especially with his explosive high-contact play style. And let's not forget the off-court concerns that have followed him. Those could easily magnify under LA's blinding spotlight. So while the thought of LeBron, Luka, and Ja sharing the floor sounds like a Hollywood blockbuster, the fine print is ugly. Massive salaries, limited assets, and fierce competition could kill the dream before it even gets started. Still, in a league built on bold moves, the Lakers might just decide this gamble is too tempting to pass up. There's another major reason teams are hesitating on Ja Morant: his health. Those recurring calf and shoulder issues keep flaring up, and his recent stats don't exactly silence the doubters. He's averaging just 20.8 points per game on shaky shooting numbers, sparking real concern about whether his explosiveness is slipping. Some executives are even whispering comparisons to Derrick Rose's post-injury decline, a scary thought for a player whose game relies so much on athleticism. You can bet the Lakers' medical staff would comb through every scan, every report, and every minute of footage before committing serious assets to bring him in. But it's not just the body that's raising alarms, it's the baggage too. Morant's off-court controversies and past suspensions still linger, along with reports of tension with former teammates. Combine that with Los Angeles' intense media spotlight and demanding fanbase, and it's easy to see why front offices are nervous. A single misstep in Hollywood can turn into a full-blown circus. Insiders say this reputation has already tanked his value across the league, making execs question how he'd mesh with LeBron's leadership style and the Lakers' established locker room culture. Then there's the fit problem. Morant's ball-dominant approach overlaps heavily with Luka Doncic's game, two players who both need the rock to thrive. Analysts are already warning this could lead to an offensive logjam, forcing LeBron into a more off-ball role before he's ready and disrupting the Lakers' rhythm. Too many playmakers, not enough spacing, that's how dysfunction starts. Some have even joked it could turn into a too many cooks in the kitchen situation in the backcourt. And in LA, that kind of imbalance could blow up quick. And even if the Lakers manage to overcome all that, there's still one more monster hurdle: competition. The market for Ja Morant is crowded, with at least 7 teams reportedly in the mix, many of them better positioned than the Lakers to make a serious offer. The Minnesota Timberwolves have emerged as early frontrunners, dangling picks and players like Dante DiVincenzo or Naz Reid to form a deadly athletic pairing between Morant and Anthony Edwards. With their young core, strong defense, and cap flexibility, they're a scary opponent in the trade race. The Sacramento Kings are watching closely too. Word is they could package Malik Monk or Kevin Huerter, along with future picks in a deal designed to supercharge their backcourt next to De'Aaron Fox. That move would not only boost their playoff chances, but also turn up the rivalry heat in the Western Conference. And betting odds already list them as a top sleeper destination. And don't sleep on the Miami Heat either. They're reportedly one of the top 3 teams to watch. Miami could easily offer Tyler Herro and multiple picks, while Pat Riley's culture and Eric Spoelstra's defense-first system are seen as the perfect structure for Morant's redemption story. Add their cap flexibility, and the Heat suddenly look like a serious threat to swoop in and snatch him from under the Lakers' nose. Bottom line, the East 10. The Lakers aren't just battling risk, they're battling the entire league. For every reason they might talk themselves into Ja Morant, there's another reason, or another team, ready to make that gamble before they can. The Milwaukee Bucks have officially thrown their name into the Ja Morant sweepstakes, and they're not messing around. Sources say they're exploring ways to pair Morant with Giannis Antetokounmpo, a combo that would make defenses panic. Rumors suggest they could dangle Chris Middleton or future picks to get it done. The Bucks are in win-now mode, and their desperation to dominate the East might push them to outbid everyone, even the Lakers. Insiders also claim Milwaukee's front office has been weighing a move for either Morant or Zach LaVine, whichever gives them the spark they need to stay on top. Meanwhile, the Toronto Raptors have become a centerpiece in many mock trades. They're reportedly willing to package Emmanuel quickly and multiple picks, viewing Morant as the ultimate rebuild accelerator. Their lottery-protected draft assets are exactly the kind of leverage Memphis wants, and that puts Toronto firmly in the running. Then there's the Brooklyn Nets, the dark horse nobody should sleep on. Insider Brett Siegel has reported that the Nets are quietly circling Morant, possibly putting Cam Thomas or future first-rounders on the table in a multi-team deal. With their flexible rebuild plan and deep draft capital, Brooklyn could sneak in and steal him if other teams hesitate. The Los Angeles Clippers have also been linked, reportedly exploring offers centered around Norman Powell or Terrence Mann. Imagine Morant crossing the court in Staples Center but not wearing purple and gold. That would sting for Laker Nation. The Clippers' cap flexibility and aggressive front office could absolutely tilt the race in their favor. And don't overlook the Houston Rockets. They've got the assets to play spoiler. Rumors say they might float Jabari Smith Jr. or a pile of picks to pair Morant with Alperen Şengün, building one of the youngest, most explosive backcourts in the league. Add in other interested teams like the Bulls, Suns, and Spurs, and suddenly the trade market looks like pure chaos. With the Lakers caught in the middle of a feeding frenzy, all these roadblocks could end up killing the dream of Morant wearing the purple and gold. If Memphis stays firm on value and other franchises keep flashing stronger offers, Los Angeles might have no choice but to settle for a supporting role in a multi-team trade, picking up useful role players like Ochai Agbaji instead of landing the headliner. It's not the flashy blockbuster fans we're hoping for, but it could still quietly make the roster better in key areas. Right now, though, the truth is simple. Interest alone doesn't win trades. The Grizzlies want draft capital and young players, and the Lakers package just doesn't measure up against teams with deeper war chests. The most realistic scenario? The Lakers become the third team, helping facilitate the deal while watching Morant head elsewhere, maybe to the Timberwolves, Heat, or another franchise ready to gamble big. As the February 5th trade deadline inches closer, the situation keeps evolving by the hour. Morant might still be in Memphis today, but the phones are buzzing, the offers are flying, and the clock is running out fast. And that wraps it up for this one. What do you think? Should the Lakers gamble everything for Ja Morant or play it safe and focus on depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next big NBA breakdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.